Hello and welcome, everyone. Welcome to the Long Beach Playhouse New Works Festival 2021. My name is Madison Mooney. I am the executive director of the Long Beach Playhouse, and I am so happy to have everyone here online on our Long Beach Playhouse YouTube channel to have celebrate the New Works Festival 2021 and see some amazing scripts be read by some amazing actors. First and foremost, I do want to give a big thank you to our sponsor, the Port of Long Beach. The Port does a lot of great things for our city. They sponsor and support so many amazing nonprofits and schools and educational offerings. And so they sponsored tonight and this whole weekend so that we can make it free for everyone to enjoy our New Works Festival and hear some new scripts aloud for the first time. And so a big thank you to the Port of Long Beach. And before we get started with our performances, we do have a video from the Port. So please enjoy.
It's been said that life is a matter of choices, and every choice makes you who you are. There are those who choose to plot a course, choose to take on responsibility, and deliver. Those who see that every person and thing around them is interconnected and are committed to shaping a successful future for all. At the Port of Long Beach, we are looking forward, listening closely, and leading the way, not only as the Green Port, but for all the things that make us the port of choice. We are dedicated to winning our customers' loyalty and trust by leading with confidence and being seen as we see ourselves. By recognizing the changing tides, we will continue charting a course to connect, enhance, and complement the efforts of our global customers and be a beacon for our local communities, all while keeping a promise of being environmentally focused and sustainable. Because we understand that the success of one depends on the success of all. We are united. We are the Port of Choice.
Thank you again to the Port of Long Beach. Thank you for all of your support for amazing nonprofits and educational services in our area. And thank you so much for sponsoring our New Works Festival. We're so glad that we get to have this free for everyone in our community and that we get to share these new scripts and these amazing performances. So another set of thanks that I want to give out tonight is to our New Works Committee. We have a great set of folks that read all of the plays. They read and evaluate and read again and evaluate, and then they determine our festival winners, which is one of the ones that we'll see tonight. So I wanted to thank our fantastic committee members. We have John Malloy, Jerry Whitney, Taylor Brown, Lisa J. Salas, Carmen Tunis, Taryn Moyes, Karen Salas, Rafael Buenaventura, Roxanne Patmore, Roxy Martinez, Steve Shane, Amber Kemper, Stephen Gratch, and an extra big thank you to our committee chair, Jane Nunn. Thank you all for all of your work this past year, reading and figuring out and finalizing these two fantastic winners that we're seeing this weekend. So thank you so much to our committee. And speaking of scripts that committee is reading, they're currently reading right now for next year. We are accepting submissions for plays for next year's festival. So our deadline is June 30th to get your scripts in. So we've got couple of weeks from today's this weekend's, if you're watching it live. If you're watching it in August, out of luck next year. But yeah, we're accepting plays. If you go onto the lbplayhouse.org, our main website, scroll down and click on New Works. You got the information there and a really easy submission process, easy form on our website. You can just attach a PDF of your script. And then there is a $15 submission fee that you can do on our website, or if you want to mail in a check. But if you've got a script that you've been working on this past year, or something that's been in your drawer for even longer than that, or if you're working on something right now and you need a deadline to finish it, June 30th, there's your deadline. So if you've got a script, please send it on in. We're accepting plays and unproduced works. If it has been a production already, we are looking for new works that have not been produced. So yeah, get that on in. And the committee is going to keep reading, and then next spring we'll have our next two winners. So let's get to it. A little bit of info if you're watching live, if you're watching tonight, we will be having a Zoom Talkback discussion with the cast and the crew and our writer. So if you are watching to this weekend, June 4th or 5th, there will be a link in the description below, and maybe I'll get it to be here. I'm not the best, but maybe I can get it right here across my face now. If anything, it's going to be in a link right down there. So that's going to be starting tonight after this performance ends. And so you'll head down to a different YouTube page, and then you'll see our cast and crew and possibly our writers of the scripts talk about the show, talk about the script, talk about the writing, and we will also be answering your questions. So please, you'll be able to submit your questions in the YouTube page, and then we can talk about them and answer your questions, or just your feedback, talk about your feedback. All right, wonderful. And I think that's all you need to hear from me. You didn't come to see the New Works Festival and see me talk all night. So let's get it started. So tonight, we have Leon's Warning by Marc Littman. Enjoy.
Leon's Warning, a one-act play by Marc Littman. Scene. Almost all the action takes place at a bus stop on a busy street in downtown Los Angeles. Although it's in a relatively safe area in the financial district, there are signs of blight and unease. Placards for Black Lives Matter, Occupy LA, and LAPD equals genocide adorn a construction fence. A lone transient, Leon, is propped against the fence with his shopping cart. But as the play progresses, more signs of the homeless, decay, and danger will proliferate. Time, early fall, late afternoon, recently. Scene 1, the bus stop, late afternoon. At Rise, looking like a sidewalk Buddha, Leon sits comatose propped against the fence, a brass Tibetan singing bowl in his lap, a Raggedy Andy doll in Afghan dress with blood and burn stains draped around his neck. A shopping cart loaded with utensils, food, clothes, a cane, and strange sundry items, including a large plaster Buddha, oversized spy books, a Native American drum and mallet, dusty soccer ball, and an empty cat carrier is parked nearby. It's sweltering, but Leon is swaddled in a soiled winter coat and hood. His eyes hide behind broken sunglasses. Derek. A briefcase slung over his shoulder warily shuffles to the bus stop, gently tossing a worn baseball from hand to hand, pausing to mop his sweaty brow with a monogrammed handkerchief and inspect the bottoms of his fancy Italian shoes for gum. He notices Leon and absently tosses a quarter in the brass bowl. Leon flicks it back.
I didn't ask for a quarter, boss. Just messing with you. Hey, if it makes you feel better, give me $1 so I can buy a cigarette. The Korean lady at the liquor store on Hill Street sells them for about $1 a piece. Well, of course, you can save me dragging my ass 3 blocks if you just give me one. You smoke, boss?
Derek turns away. He spies his quarter, hesitates, then gingerly picks it up with his handkerchief.
Where the hell is that bus?
Playing hide and seek with you. It's a game Metro drivers play. They're always late at least 10 minutes, except for the day when you're just 30 seconds behind because the boss blocks you at the door with some BS, and then you come running up just as the bus pulls away, belching black smoke and soot, and you're stuck here gagging your guts out. And then the next bus is going to be 20 minutes late to add insult to injury.
Metro buses run on CNG. There's no smoke.
Yeah? Damn, I learn something new every day. But you didn't answer my question, boss. Do you smoke?
Derek's cell phone rings, and he drops his ball answering it. Derek lunges for the street, but Leon saves the ball for him.
No, Mr. Adams. The bank will not invest your money in Hyperloops or any risky venture like that. Yes, I know there's no time for you to earn it again. Yes, sir, I understand your risk tolerance. Look, I'm sorry, Mr. Adams, but I have to catch my bus. I need to get home to my family. Can we talk tomorrow? Self-driving cars! Driving me crazy. No, not you, Mr. Adams.
You ain't in no hurry to get home. No wonder Adams hung up on you. He knows you're lying. I see you every day shuffling up to the bus stop like dead man walking or Jesus lugging his wooden cross on his back, checking your shoes every few steps for some gum, knowing there ain't no way you gotta pick it off if you found some, because you're so scared of cooties. And all the time you're muttering about the bus being late, but then you let out this woeful sigh when it finally does come, just because you know you're heading back to a place that just ain't a home. Something's missing.
Are you talking to me?
Unless I'm talking to myself, Derek.
How do you know my name? I asked you a question.
And I gave you an answer.
You've been spying on me.
Well, that would be fitting, considering that's how I used to make my living. But don't flatter yourself. I can't help but listen to your calls. Your voice is so loud, I'm afraid all the downtown skyscrapers will tumble like the walls of Jericho. It's bad enough we live in earthquake country. You're pushing the San Andreas to do the nasty.
Derek fishes in his pocket for a vial of Xanax pills and chugs a couple.
Them happy pills? I'd ask you to share, but...
Jesus Christ. I work my ass off all day, and then I can't even walk in peace for the bus, wait in peace for the bus without being hassled by some sidewalk toad.
Derek swallows another pill.
Sidewalk toad. I like that one. I'm going to add that to my list along with bum, tramp, hobo, wino, doper, loafer, shirker, vermin, transient, and homeless. Sticks and stones. You can't even look at me, boss. Why? What, do I remind you of someone?
Stunned, Derek drops the ball again. It rolls toward Leon, but this time he doesn't intervene. Derek scoops up ball with his handkerchief. As he stoops, he steals a furtive look at Leon.
Why would anyone remind me of you?
A sidewalk toad?
Leon squeezes Raggedy Andy, then twitching, starts tapping the sidewalk in a rhythmic circle, an OCD tick.
We all have secrets, boss. Your bus is coming.
Off stage, the sound of a bus approaching. Derek starts to exit. Leon momentarily blocks him.
Hey, don't forget my cigarettes, Derek. Oh, and matches.
Blackout. Scene 2, same bus stop. Late afternoon, a couple days later. At Rise, Leon is nursing a bruised and bloody cheek with a wet sock. His sunglasses lie smashed at his feet. The Tibetan singing bowl is on his lap, and Raggedy Andy is draped around his neck. The setting is a bit edgier. A homeless man's tent is pitched nearby, with a sleeping bag next to it. There's graffiti on the sidewalk and another angry placard on the construction fence. Derek is waiting for the bus stop.
Hey, it's okay to look, boss. If you look hard enough, you might even discover your own humanity. And yeah, it hurts. You ain't even curious. Fellow human being gets the stuffing kicked out of him, and you look the other way?
It's not that I don't care or I'm unkind. I just want to catch the bus in peace.
Om Shanti Shanti. Om Shanti Shanti. the Buddhist mantra for peace in the universe. Want to join me?
Derek shuffles away several steps. Leon pings the Tibetan singing bowl on his lap, and it resonates.
Oh, come on.
I don't know, but I've been told. Come on, children, come on. That the streets of heaven have all been sold. Come on, children, come on. Come on, people, now. It's time to go. Go to where a man can glow. Come on, Gabriel, blow that thing. Come on, children, come on. Sure, you can strut a couple of blocks uphill and catch the bus near the county hall, but then you might not get a seat and be forced to stand all the way to the beach, jostling against the other standees. End of the day, it's hot, deodorant wears off, and you smell some fat slob's armpits and bad breath. God forbid, he might bump against you.
Okay, what the hell happened to you?
My urban tax was overdue.
Did your neighbor collect?
Jose? Nah, he's too busy collecting bottles and cans to mess with me. Besides, he knows better. He knows I'm an Afghan vet. Army intelligence. Do you believe I was an officer? Excuse me if I don't make eye contact, boss. Ever since my little incident overseas, I don't see so good. Especially late afternoon. The sun's glare gets to me.
Derek rummages in coat for his Ray-Ban sunglasses and a pack of cigarettes.
Hey, thanks, but I
Can't let you have the Ray-Bans. They cost me $200, but I got your cigarettes.
Derek tosses pack in Leon's bowl.
Matches?
Derek tosses matches in bowl, then slides a couple steps away.
Better not light up. I'm allergic to smoke.
And gum, germs, BO, and homeless folk. Don't worry, boss. I'm not lighting up. I don't smoke. It's against my religion.
You're a Mormon?
Quasi-Buddhist. I push broom in a monastery in Little Tokyo. The monks there don't allow smoking. They say as Buddhists, they try to remain open to cravings while not acting on them. They also think smoking is harmless to self and others.
Then why the hell did you ask me for cigarettes? That pack cost me $8.
Derek reaches to retrieve the pack, but Leon whips it away and buries it safely in his coat.
They're from my friend Eddie. He smokes like a chimney. You may have seen him over on Grand by the Music Center. He's an artist. Draws freehand pictures of Mickey Mouse and Goofy and sells them because you don't like to beg. Eddie knows everything about Disney animation. You ever wonder why Mickey has 3 fingers and a thumb?
Derek swallows a Xanax pill, shields eyes to scan for bus.
Damn bus. Keep it up, Metro. There's gonna be a riot.
Leon hoists himself up by clawing the fence and fishes in his shopping cart for 2 drawings. Finding them, he plops back down and holds artwork close to his weak eyes.
Yep. 3 fingers. Eddie says it was faster for the animators just to draw 3 fingers. Here, you can have it.
No thanks.
I got Goofy too. You know, he also has 3 fingers. But of course, he's a dog, so he should have paws. You know, Goofy sort of looks like you, Derek. He's lanky, good-looking, with an illegal smile and dilated pupils. A little disheveled. He's wearing a green t-shirt, a Mets baseball cap turned backward. He got some stubble on his chin. Wild red hair like Van Gogh, but it appears he has both ears. They stick out. And on his right forearm, he has this weird tattoo of some angry old saint or angel waving a sword. Is that Archangel Michael? I don't know.
You're not describing me.
Yeah, you're right. You dress way too conservative, even for a banker. What do you got against color?
Time out. What kind of game are you playing? That man you described is my brother. He's been missing. How do you know him?
I don't. God's truth. I never met him. At least not in person. Hey, maybe I'm clairvoyant, huh? Reckon you can't be any good in Army intelligence if you don't see what others don't. But I've seen your son.
My son?
Yeah. 2 Saturdays ago outside the last bookstore on Spring Street. That's where I get my spy books. Katie brings them out to me because she knows I'm leery of going inside buildings. You were with a boy, about 6. I assume he was your son. Cute kid. He was excited to be downtown.
Leon strokes Raggedy Andy with one hand.
I waved, but you looked right through me. I thought we were buddies.
Bus buddies. Yeah, right.
Here, take them both. Give Mickey to the boy. You keep Goofy.
Leon strains to rise, stumbles to the ground, but Derek doesn't help him.
Oof. Can you get me my cane from my cart? Come on, boss. I'm a disabled vet.
Jesus.
Rummaging in the cart for Leon's cane, his hand wrapped in handkerchief to ward off against germs, Derek notices Leon's spy books.
I can see you're into spy books. Double agents, the Taliban. At least you read.
I do more than read. But what do you care?
Derek hands Leon his cane, then wipes hand on his suit jacket. Leon pushes the drawings.
Come on, don't be a dick. Take them. Bad luck if you don't.
Derek opens his briefcase.
As if I need any more bad luck. Just drop them in.
Leon takes his time, deliberately touching Derek's papers with his cooties.
Thank you.
Enough, all right? Just leave me alone. And my family, too. Pretend you don't know us, okay?
Derek turns his back and is instantly accosted by an aggressive panhandler, a drug addict.
Hey man, I need $1.75 for the bus.
Cut the crap. I already gave you cigarettes. Bug off. Who the hell are you?
Give me my money.
The would-be robber reaches into his back pocket. Leon shoves his shopping cart into the man's back, bowling him over. A pocket knife drops to the ground. Leon quickly bats it away with his cane, then brandishes the stick as the thief rises to confront him.
Don't even think about it, Thomas.
Damn. That was close. That freak would have stabbed me.
Hey, he was too stoned to hit his mark. But a lesson learned, Derek. Don't turn your back on anyone, not on these streets, not in these times. A lot of angry people coming together for all sorts of reasons. Everyone has a story. Thomas's wife just left him after 16 months on the street. Says she's going to get herself clean. So Thomas wants that too. But he's still on the waiting list for treatment. I'd advise you to catch the bus elsewhere, but you'd be taking your chances there too. It's like treading water in a kettle of soup that's just starting to boil at the edges. It'll burn more than your tongue, white boy. Still, Thomas has enough street smarts not to tangle with you again.
And what about you? Your doper friend might come back to settle the score. Maybe you should camp out at City Hall with the Occupy LA party.
I prefer the high-rent district.
Leon settles on the sidewalk doing his rhythmic tapping. Derek chugs several Xanax pills.
You keep chugging them happy pills like chiclets, you'll find yourself sitting here with me and begging for bus fare. Don't ask for the full freight, start with a quarter.
Derek kicks Thomas's pocket knife over to Leon.
In case he comes back.
What do you care? You don't even know my name.
Of all the days to be late, I think the Metro is setting a new record for pissing me off.
Leon rummages in his cart for a buffalo skin Apache drum with painted eagle and mallet and taps a steady rhythmic beat.
You can stand in traffic and beat this, Chief. Like send the smoke signals to the bus driver. Hurry up! Of course, you might get run over, but barring that, it'll help you ease your stress. For real. The Buddhist monks and shamans beat drums to meditate. I read it puts your brain in an alpha state. Imagine, you can get stoned without taking drugs. I bartered for this with an Apache named Grey Wolf. Said his grandfather was a medicine man. Taught me how to journey to the spirit world, taking flight with Hawk. Hook up with power animals and spirits. I can leave my body behind whenever I want. Maybe someday, I just won't come back.
Bon voyage.
Keeps the evil vibes away too.
Offstage, the sound of the bus approaching. Derek rushes to exit.
You're welcome, Derek! By the way, my name is Leon.
Blackout. Scene 3, same bus stop, later that night. At Rise, Leon is beating his drum, looking fretful. There are sounds offstage of sirens, drunken arguing from the tent nearby, under lurid light from moon and other mayhem. Fade to black on Leon's anguished face. 4, same bus stop, late afternoon, a week later. At Rise, Leon is hunched forward, shaking, clutching the Yusuf Raggedy Andy doll to his chest. His head is crudely bandaged with bloody rags. His Apache drum is punctured on the sidewalk. Next to the drum is a dead rat skewered on Leon's snapped cane. Another tent has joined the community with a bicycle and shopping cart and broken office chair. More angry signs adorn the fence. Derek shuffles warily to the bus stop, recoils when he sees the rat and destruction, and gives Leon a wide berth. After a beat or two, Derek approaches Leon but can't force himself to touch him.
Are you okay? Wake up, guy. It's almost time to go to sleep. Yo, Teddy! It's Raggedy Andy. Wake up, I'm hungry.
The hell?
It's a trick my brother taught me to throw my voice.
I take his name was Teddy. Unless I'm a brother from your other mother.
Yeah, right. My mother and father were missionaries in Tigres, the capital of Honduras. And not in the good part. The Hondurinos, or Quechuros, didn't appreciate us, much less the gangs. Sometimes when my brother and I were out at night, we'd throw our voices to make it seem like we were more than we were. Didn't always work, but Teddy took the brunt of it. He always had my back. Too bad nobody had your back. What happened?
I'm doing penance for the sin of my past lives.
Huh?
I don't mind the pain. I deserve it.
So, the creep came back?
Thomas? Hell no. He OD'd.
Good riddance. I guess addicts don't last long on the streets.
Are you asking me or telling me? That depends. Some people live the good life here for 20 years or more. Miss Polly, who camps out by the old St. Vibiana Cathedral, has managed for about that long. Makes some mean grits on her little sterno stove. I think Cardinal Mahoney blessed her once. Wouldn't eat her grub. Miss Polly's got street smarts. That's how she survives.
What about someone like Goofy? You know, the guy described in the drawing. If he were to hit the streets...
If he walked around in a daze like you, he'd be burnt toast before you could butter him. Then the rats would eat him.
That's not funny.
I didn't say it was. Rats are mean. You see that rat skewered on my cane? He tried to eat my cat. We battled all night, like Hemingway's Old Man in the Sea. It was an epic battle. Raised such a racket. Rat's big as a small pig. Pounced on the cat carrier and dragged my poor cat out by his tail. I kept poking at the rat. He bared his teeth and snapped off chunks of my cane like it was beef jerky. Finally, the cat ran off, and I speared the bastard before he could lay his beady eyes on me. I'm just messing with you, boss. Same dudes that smashed my drum pulled that stunt. They didn't like the drum beat, too monotonic. But you got a beat like that to sync your brain waves, get them in an alpha state so you leave your body and journey. I told the bastards to fuck off. They were throwing off my rhythm. Now they live here. There goes the neighborhood. Scared poor Yusuf half to death, didn't it?
Leon presses his ear to the old doll's painted mouth, sniffs air.
So that you say, Yusuf? Something smells like Baru or camel shit? Oh, it's his cologne. Maybe it's just fear.
Came back to make sure you're okay, not to be insulted. You know, I could have stayed away.
Like hell you could. You're drawn to me like a magnet. Yet when you get close, you don't even see me. You see someone you don't want to see. Maybe your reflection. Maybe something else. That's an enigma.
I just wanted to make sure you were okay.
Sorry, boss. I'm a lot of gold stars.
Asshole.
Leon fishes in his coat for his reading magnifying glass and holds it up to Derek.
Take a look in the mirror. You like what you see?
Derek tries to kick away the glass, but Leon nimbly whips it away.
Phew, nice move. So you can take care of yourself after all.
Yeah, right. It's amazing we're both still alive.
Speak for yourself.
I tell you to move too, but Every bus stop I tried the past week is the same. I don't feel safe.
The natives are getting restless.
So where are the police?
Too busy where you live, ticketing people for jaywalking or not picking up dog poop. If they ever showed up here, they'd just finish the job. One less bum to clog the streets. Speaking of clogs, the buses are barely moving today. I overheard there's a fire on Flower Street. Arson in one of the high-rises.
Just my luck. More time in the danger zone.
Derek tosses a whistle in Leon's bowl.
What's this for?
You know.
And if I blow it, will you come?
Leon blasts whistle, then again and again.
Stop it!
I rest my case.
Man, I don't know why I bother with you. My parents raised me to be kind to the down and out, but you keep pushing me to the edge.
I keep saying you're drawn to me. Maybe if I was an artist like Eddie, I'd erase the lines. But my hands are too bent. It doesn't matter. You see me, you see Teddy. We're both goofy characters. We both dog your dreams, and there ain't nothing you can do about it, brother.
Derek whirls and fires his baseball at Leon. It hits him in his padded chest. Leon grips the ball, stunned.
You're not my brother!
Wow, I didn't see that coming. Ooh, lucky I had padding.
Give me my ball back.
Leon cocks his wrist. Derek backs off. His shoulders sag.
Please.
Leon gently tosses Derek his ball, which he reluctantly catches, drops in his briefcase, and rubs his hands clean with hand sanitizer.
I don't know where my brother is, but I bet you do.
And you should never buy a lottery ticket. I'm not saying your brother's among them, but there are thousands of homeless in LA. You think I keep tabs on everyone?
You keep tabs on me and my son.
Your wife, too. Good-looking, tall woman. I was doing my rounds at night, pushing my cart around the same month. I watched you and your son coming out of the last bookstore. You and the missus, I assume, was beating a path from the Disney concert hall to the garage.
What the fuck?
It was during one of those hot spells. Still about 80 at night, and she's wearing this heavy mink all made up nice and glittery and dragging you along like you was playing follow the leader. And again, you didn't see me. In fact, you gave me a wide berth. Guess you thought I'd hit you up for a quarter, huh? I hung around to make sure your old lady didn't get mugged. You sure drive a nice set of wheels. Range Rover.
Why are you stalking me?
Well, we're bus buddies.
I'm not the only one who catches the bus, just here.
Well, then that makes you special.
I'm glad I amuse you, but you give me the creeps, honestly.
No doubt. I make you feel uncomfortable. You're a have and I'm a have-not.
That has nothing to do with it.
If you say so. Tell me the truth. You think I'm ugly? I stink? The monks nicknamed me Lee Tegai, or Iron Crutch Lee. I read up on him. Lee is one of the 8 immortals in the Taoist pantheon. Ugly, smelly dude with a dirty face and straggly beard because he took over a beggar's body after he died when his own was cremated by mistake while he was checking out heaven on the sly. He walks with the aid of an iron crutch, though he can fly like Superman. Lee has a short fuse. He's irritable, but he's kind to the poor, the sick, and the downtrodden.
So you think you're a god, huh? I think you're a goddamn
Lee
homer.
carries a medicine cord that can cure any illness and never runs out. I wish I was Lee. I'd help everyone on the streets. But I'd be spread kind of thin, don't you think?
My damn watch stopped.
Leon cups his ear to sidewalk.
So is the bus. No problem. I'll keep you entertained and vice versa. Now, I was telling you, the monks think I look like the beggar god because, well, I do. But I'm no god, boss. Just a watchman.
Stalking innocent people?
No, just observing, doing my job. I mosey with my cart up and down the streets from Skid Row to Bunker Hill. Don't see so good, but my other senses are finely tuned. I hear the chatter, smell and touch the decay, feel the despair. I take mental notes. I pick up scraps of conversation for the guys lounging in the grass by Olvera Street, press my ears against the tents at City Hall. over here the police shooting the breeze. People are frustrated as hell. They want what you got and won't share. I ain't talking about your fancy house and car or your wife's mink coat. They want respect.
Then earn it.
Ain't that what I'm doing? I managed to get you to at least look at me. That's no small feat.
Oh, don't dump your guilt on me. I've been there, man. You know, the poor people in Honduras wanted the same thing. But they don't sit on the streets asking for a handout or hassling any stranger that walked past. They foraged in the dumps, did odd jobs. People have a choice, you know. You don't have to be poor and homeless or use drugs as an excuse to escape responsibility. You don't have to steal or stalk innocent people. What have I done to wrong you? I'm just a plain guy trying to make a living.
There's nothing plain about you, boss. Except your suit. No offense. It's boring. Maybe we should swap clothes.
Leon starts to take off his jacket and hood, exposing burns over most of his body.
Yep. Ugly all over. Me and Lee. Sitting in your banker's ivory tower looking down, it's all beautiful. But let me tell you something, boss. You can build a skyscraper to heaven, but still can't rise above the fray. You say I'm a stalker? You're right. I stalk trouble. There's a slow boil on the streets. It's picking up steam. Soon it'll boil over and lots of people will get scalded.
Doom and gloom. That's what you're watching for? You're staking out a front row seat on Hill Street for the parade?
I ain't looking for trouble, boss. I'm looking for hope in everything and everyone. Namaste. It's an ancient Sanskrit greeting. Means I salute the God within you.
There's no God in me. If there ever was, he fled when he got the chance. And enough preaching. I swallowed a lifetime of that BS from my folks. None of it means shit. And to think I came back here to thank you for saving my ass.
By giving me a whistle.
Leon tosses the whistle back.
Go blow it on the beach. Don't they have a drum circle on Sundays? Nice cool breezes, no riffraff to snag your attention from the young woman in the bikini dancing in the center, swaying her hips and coconuts like sexy palm tree.
No doubt you'll be there watching the show. You'll have plenty of company. Bums are everywhere, especially on the beach.
God's country. Maybe I'll join them if you buy me a new drum. How about a steel? I'll beat out a calypso beat.
I don't feel sorry for you.
Good, because I don't feel sorry for me. I feel sorry for you. Wish I could save you, Derek.
Save me? From what?
Leon holds up the magnifying glass so Derek can see his reflection.
Your chariot's arriving.
Derek hastily exits. Blackout. Scene 5, next morning. Derek's desk in Bank Tower facing a large window in open frame. Sans glass, with a painted view of the Los Angeles skyline and beyond. His brother's Teddy baseball sits idly in middle of cluttered desk. At Rise, Derek is talking on the phone.
There's also a risk of in sitting on the sidelines while the bull market stampedes to new highs, Mr. Adams. Those extra returns could cover college for your grandchildren or pay for your dream trip to China. Remember we talked about the Great Wall? It should be on everyone's bucket list. Yes, sir, a balanced portfolio is prudent. We're just tweaking your balance ever so slightly. No, I'm not putting my commission before your interests. In fact, I resent them.
Derek holds the receiver for a beat before slamming the phone down.
There has to be a better way to make a living.
Derek reaches down in his desk for his pills, oblivious at first to two characters who alight on his window ledge. Leon, in hawk costume, is beating a drum. Under his wing is Derek's brother, Teddy. He's wearing a green t-shirt, a Mets baseball cap turned backwards. His face is grizzled, his red hair tousled, and his attic eyes wide open. And on his right forearm, he wears a large Archangel Michael tattoo. Leon releases Teddy and flies away.
Money isn't everything, brother. Wow, look at this view. Beautiful.
Oh my God. Teddy?
Hola, hermano. Can I come in?
How the hell did you get up here? We're on the 26th floor. The windows don't open.
When there's a will, there's a way.
Teddy steps through the open window frame and settles on Derek's desk. Bewildered, Derek holds Xanax vial at arm's length.
Damn Xanax pills are making me hallucinate.
Teddy grabs the vial and tosses them out the window.
And you knocked me for being an addict. There's a better way to fly, brother. Try journeying with Hawk. You can go anywhere. Heck, you could visit other planets and circle the sun without even getting burned. And you don't need the old Archangel Michael to protect you and your soul because it's free at last. Now, if I could just get rid of this ugly tat.
Derek slumps in his chair. Teddy leans close.
What's the matter, bro? You look like you've seen a ghost. Wishful thinking?
In a manner of speaking, I've been looking all over town for you.
Teddy picks up his baseball and plays catch with himself.
In all the wrong places. Did you check out the crack houses? I think not. Nasty places. Druggies and drug dealers preying on each other. I kept waiting for you to rescue me, but you never came. Oh well, want to know what happened to me?
It doesn't matter. You're here now.
Am I? I dreamed I saw St. Teddy alive as you or me, tearing through these quarters in the utmost misery.
Oh, Teddy.
You gave me the boot.
I had no choice.
I was sick, Derek. Of all people, I thought you'd have my back. I always had yours. I even took the old man's hits for you. Remember? You totaled his Ford.
You made me drive. You were too stoned to keep your eyes open.
But you're the one who hit the cow, and you kept the balls at Souvenir. You know, the old man beat me with it. It's okay, I got even. You know that prized Inuit art collection? Those ivory walrus tusk sculptures? Don't look for the dog sled, the one with the scrimshaw. I stole it. Got $50.
It cost me $2,000.
Like I said, money isn't everything. What about love?
It's hard to love someone who doesn't love himself.
But I always loved you. Still do.
But you're dead?
Wow, I can see the ocean and your McMansion from up here.
It's Alexa's house. Her folks financed it as a wedding gift. But they put the deed in her name. She constantly reminds me. I feel like a goddamn tenant.
Like I was. Still, it was good while it lasted. I enjoyed the ocean breeze. Can still taste the salt in the air. The taste of adventure. You've come a long way, Derek. Far from dirty old Tigas, but you're still a street kid.
Teddy,
That's what my brother called me. Not the imposter who's ashamed of me, my rough edges, but that's just a veneer. Until you can peer through the veil and see the humanity in everyone, you'll never find me.
But I see you now, Teddy. You're here.
That bitch dresses you well. Armani?
Don't talk about my wife like that.
You sold your soul, Derek.
Derek springs to his feet.
Get out!
Showing me the door again? Brother?
No, the window.
Derek shoves Teddy and he topples backwards through the open window frame, dropping his baseball on the desk. Derek races to look out the window.
Teddy! Oh God, come back, brother. I need you, please. I'll forgive you.
Blackout. Scene 6, same bus stop. It's 6 weeks later, late fall. The skies are gray and ominous. At Rise, Leon is engaged in his tics, tapping the sidewalk, oblivious to the growing homeless encampment, but peering at Derek through half-swollen, bruised eyes. Leon's clothes are even more ragged. Derek wears a stylish trench coat.
Oh God, what have I done? What the hell have I done?
Derek pulls Goofy drawing from his briefcase and studies it before sticking it on the fence, already crowded with angry signs. Then turning his back, he slides warily down fence until his coat gets snagged. Derek eagerly pulls away, tearing his coat to find Leon crying and wiping his bloody nose.
Are you mocking me?
I'm crying for you, boss. 'Cause you can't. I don't see no tears.
Offstage, the sound of the bus pulling up. Derek exits, blackout. Scene 7, same bus stop, a week later. Leon shows signs of more abuse. An effigy of a police officer dangles from fence. The homeless camp has grown. Beer bottles and trash and feces litter sidewalk. At Rise, Derek, disgusted, steps over the debris to wait for bus.
Like a pox, spreading everywhere. At least you can avoid it. Me, it's my karma.
Maybe it's mine too.
No, boss. I've been racking my brains trying to figure out why you just don't drive your new Range Rover to work and steer clear of this dump. Are you a masochist or something? A Rover can zip up mountains, slide down sand dunes. Hell, I bet that gas-guzzling beast can glide on water.
But not through LA traffic.
So, a big, successful guy like you takes the bus with the people because you're afraid of driving LA freeways? Oh man, this makes my day. If I could just jump off that LA freeway.
Oh, you're mangling Guy Clark's song. If I could just get off that LA freeway without getting killed or caught, I'd be down that road in a cloud of smoke to some land that I ain't bought.
Hey, not bad for a white boy. You can actually hold a tune.
Teddy was the singer in the family. He played a guitar too. Used to charm all the girls in Tigas.
Oh, you wonder why you were followed at night. Forget the gangbangers. Your boyfriends wanted payback. You play around with some guy's pussy, especially here. Romeo gets his guts ripped open. Maybe then the police will come.
I checked with the police. They haven't seen Teddy. But you have, Leon, I know. You described his tattoo to a T.
A lucky guess. I've seen a lot of tattoos. Hey, you want to see mine?
Please, we're bus buddies. Tell me about Teddy.
Is this a conversation or an interrogation? I know all about waterboarding and other ways to force a man to spill the beans. You don't have to torture me or yourself, Derek. Truth is, I see your brother every day. Junkies on every corner and every bus stop. You see them shaking when they're coming off a high, desperate for their next fix. It makes my ticks look tame. They drool, walk around in circles, holding ghost conversations. Some cuss at the top of their lungs. You see the office workers scatter like buckshot. And you never want to look into a junkie's hollow eyes and see their swollen pupils so dark it's like they're reflecting black holes that swallowed their souls. And then you find some crapping on the sidewalk or passed out in front of McDonald's, flies buzzing around their stained butts, blackened feet poking out of threadbare shoes, if their shoes haven't been stolen with whatever money or food stamps or cigarettes they got on them. If I were old Lee, I'd pour out my cauldron on these pitiful streets like a powerful tonic and wash Teddy right back to you. And then we could all play on the beach in your drum circle.
Leon slides his ear down to the pavement.
The bus is coming.
Offstage, the sound of the bus approaching. Derek exits. Blackout. Scene 8, same bus stop, late afternoon, next day. Leon is holding the doll, playing with his soccer ball as Derek nears.
Okay, protect the ball, Yusuf. Watch the sides, pass it.
The soccer ball slips past the doll. Derek saves it from bounding into traffic.
Nice save.
Yusuf's quite a soccer player. Precocious for his size.
I'll say, he's an amazing boy. What about your son? Is he into sports?
Is this a conversation or an interrogation?
It's just two bus buddies having a talk, trying not to think about how late Metro will be today, passing the time until the bus finally comes. I won't ask you about your son if it bothers you. I won't even ask you nothing personal. We'll keep it light. So tell me about old Teddy.
I don't want to talk about him.
Want and need don't occupy the same place, boss. You got so much hurt balled up inside, if you don't talk with someone soon, you might explode and take half of downtown LA with you. You're too cheap to pay for a therapist.
So instead, I should mouth off to some crazy homeless guy?
Derek shuffles away a few steps. Leon struggles to rise and pursue him, but wobbles. Derek reaches to catch him, but backs off, and Leon hits ground. With difficulty, he rolls over and sits propped against the fence.
My brother would have lifted you up. gently placed you in your shopping cart and wheeled you to the nearest bar and bought you a beer with my money. After that, he'd take you home like some stray dog. You'd be best friends. For a while.
Man after my own heart.
Teddy would have captured it. He loved everybody. Reminded me of Will Rogers. Teddy never met a man he didn't like, and that went double for women.
You like the women too, boss?
I don't play around.
Oh, no, too busy making enough money to keep your woman from playing on you. Is she? That big old house? There's a lot of room. Enough said. Tell me more about Teddy.
He joined a mariachi band to woo women. Played a guitar on. It's this large, deep-bodied acoustic bass. And he sang with this Irish lilt, even though we were Yanks. The ladies swooned. And when he wasn't getting laid, Teddy got into all sorts of trouble, with me often getting tangled up. He once hot-wired a dairy farmer's tractor and took me for a reckless ride. Damn near tipped us over.
Well, I flipped a Humvee. Told my CO it was an IED.
Teddy tried to ride a cow, but Bessie almost stomped him. Then the fool says he's thirsty and dips his hand in a barrel of warm, unpasteurized milk.
You ever milk a camel? Nasty creatures. Oh, the worst.
Oh, Teddy tried to get me to drink. I didn't, but I had to clean up his shit later. The folks made me do his laundry. Once we were swimming in a creek and Teddy caught a baby catfish up his ass. Didn't faze him. Didn't realize it at the time. Teddy was already a stoner. Then another time, Teddy pushed me down the small hill in a barrel. When I screamed, he ran like the human Flash, leaped over me, and cushioned the blow with his head before the barrel hit the wall. After that, Teddy acted even goofier.
Sounds like quite a character.
As kids, Teddy and me were like fleas on a dog's tail. You couldn't shake us. And Teddy was kind. Not in a saintly way, for sure. But like you, giving away your cigarettes. Teddy would give away half our pantry to the campesinos. Even then, my folks suspected Teddy was stealing to pay for drugs. Honduras is a really poor country, and we were dirt poor, so it hurt everyone. But I was proud of my brother.
Derek fondles Teddy's baseball with both hands.
But never prouder than watching Teddy play baseball. He could play any position like a pro. The other players called him Mentecato, the fool, because of his antics between plays. But they admired him. Fake Irish lilt and all. No one cheered louder than me. You play baseball, Leon?
Soccer. I played soccer when soccer wasn't cool. Even in the Bronx, growing up with a foster family, when the other kids were playing stickball, I kicked around town with my ball. Of course, that was when I could move freely and didn't have baling wire and rubber bands holding my spine together. And like you, I never went anywhere without my ball. I brought it to Afghanistan where football and kites are king and queen.
Glad we got something in common. I was...
More than you know. Anyway, one day I was approaching the base, idly dribbling around myself, when this whirling dervish comes flying out of the desert and steals my ball. Yusuf was a natural athlete, even at 6. Smart, graceful, and full of mischief. No pun intended, but that took balls to steal mine. Made me chase him. I'm surprised my buddies didn't shoot the kid. How about your son? Is he into sports?
Prince Alex? His fingers are too delicate. Alex is into the arts. Alexa bought him a Steinway baby grand piano. It takes up the whole living room. Insists he practices 3 hours a day. Hired a private music tutor. And you wonder why I'm in no hurry to get home.
The bitch has you mortgaged to the hilt to her lifestyle. You were more...
Hey!
My bad. Sorry.
Teddy lived with us for a while after our folks died last year. In his rattled brain, he thought he could turn Alex into an all-American boy. When Alexa wasn't home, his uncle tried to steer him toward the dark side. Took him to a Dodger baseball game when his beloved Mets came to town. Fed him 2 Dodger dogs and nachos. carnation malt, 2 Cokes, and peanuts. Alex threw up all over Alexa's 100-year-old Persian rug.
And?
Derek swallows a Xanax pill.
Suffice it to say, Teddy's not living with us anymore.
Derek's cell phone rings.
No, Alexa, I won't forget to pick up milk on the way home. Fat-free. Oh, you're trusting me with your dry cleaning too? I'll be sure to drag it again on the sidewalk. Give it that trendy used look. Okay, it's not funny. For the upteenth time, Alexa, I don't blame you for Teddy. I know all about danger. He was a threat. Right. What?
Your bus is here.
Derek taps Teddy's ball against his forehead and quickly exits. Blackout. Scene 9. Late that night. A tent in Palisades Park overlooking ocean in Santa Monica near Derek's home. At Rise, Leon, dressed in his human hawk costume, watches apprehensively as Derek confronts a transient who shouts from inside a tent.
Hey, I'm trying to sleep. I ain't bothering nobody. Fuck off.
Sorry, buddy, but I gotta find my brother. Can I show you a picture?
The tent flap zips open and the machete is thrust out menacingly. Leon flutters closer to intervene if necessary.
I don't want any trouble.
Then get the fuck out of here.
There's a reward. Medium size, skinny guy, curly red hair. He was wearing a Mets baseball cap and an Archangel Michael on his right forearm. Fierce looking angel waving a sword.
How much reward?
$100?
The transient sneaks peek at Derek, illuminating him by pressing his flashlight against the side of the tent.
That's all your brother's worth? You cheap son of a bitch.
Maybe more.
Go home, asshole. You're wasting time here. I'm pretty sure your brother's dead. Some whacked out junkie jumped from the cliffs the other day. Broad daylight. Heard he ran to the edge screaming, I got it! Like he was catching a fly ball.
Derek backs away.
I didn't read anything in the papers.
The junkie dying ain't news. Besides, you never hear about suicides.
Derek tries to force Teddy's photo inside the tent.
Just take a look at this picture and tell me if you've seen him.
The transient thrusts his head and machete through the tent, opening, nearly goring Derek, who stumbles backwards and falls. Leon flies towards the tent and hovers over Derek, wildly flapping his wings. The transient sniffs, then abruptly retreats inside his refuge.
Shit! What stinks? Is that you, asshole? For the last time, get the hell out of here!
Leon wraps his wings around Derek's head and ushers him to safety, leaving Teddy's photo and some feathers behind. Blackout. Scene 10. Leon and Derek's bus stop. The next day, late afternoon. Leon's plaster Buddha has been defaced with red spray paint, matching the stain on Leon's face and jacket, which Leon is struggling to remove. He has more neighbors as evidenced by a broken office chair, bicycle, and more tents, and angry placards on the fence. At Rise, Derek blows up to the bus stop, scraping the soles of his expensive Italian shoes against the fence.
Dookie. I stepped in some bum's dookie because I had to watch my back on this goddamn street. Fucking animals.
I hear you, brother. Same thing happened to me. I was taking my morning constitutional and stuck my cane right into it. Boom. Fresh dookie. Guy yells out, "Get the fuck out of here!" I yelled back, "Why don't you use the gas station, buddy?"
Spare me the sarcasm. I get it. Some gas stations and restaurants make you use a restroom key. But what about public places?
Try doing number 2 in the bathrooms at Union Station or the Central Public Library. The junkies are shooting up. Their needles are scattered on the floor. Some bearded jerk's taking a shower in the sink.
I took my son to see our historic train station, and we sat down in one of those padded chairs in the waiting room, and Alex suddenly screams. He's covered in fleas. The transients camp out there all day, and once my wife and I took a conservancy tour of one of the old Broadway theaters. We hear some racket in the back, and there are 2 street people doing it.
Is that what they call street theater?
It's not right. I pay taxes to keep downtown beautiful.
So the winos and junkies could live the good life. Hey, it's a free country.
But not at my expense. It's a disgrace. They ought to make the mayor and every council member grab a broom and clean up our streets.
Or get out of Dodge.
I know what you're thinking. There before the grace of God go I, but I'm not taking a guilt trip with you.
Oh, that rocket's already blasted off. It's halfway to Mars, circling the Milky Way.
Yeah, I'm grateful I don't have to live like that. No one deserves to be on the street. I know someone who ran out of luck.
It's not luck. Come on, as a banker, you know something about economics. Supply and demand, not enough housing, rising rents. People work 2-3 jobs just to keep a roof over their heads.
I know there used to be a lot of manufacturing jobs that paid a decent wage.
Now those folk work at McDonald's and Burger King, or sew your $100 shirts in sweatshops in the garment district for pennies a sleeve. Kids get out of school saddled with debt. Vets get discharged with a monkey on their backs. It sucks.
Well, the winos and junkies are feeling no pain, nor are the people who go around talking to themselves.
Like you?
Didn't think anyone was listening. Now I know better.
Sure, there's some whacked out folk on the street, and yeah, some wouldn't accept a roof over their heads if it meant they had to play by the rules and get sober. But most of your sidewalk toads, present company accepted, don't want to be here. And what's more, Derek, we watch out for each other. Like my friend Gray Wolf, who patches me up and taught me to journey outside my body. He gave me the drum.
How many cigarettes did you bum for that?
Aunt Bessie on Hope Street sews up people's clothes. She actually has a room in Pico Union, but takes the bus here every day to help out. Miguel from Homeless Outreach does what he can. Manuel, he always has a smile.
No doubt an illegal smile.
The monks feed me. Ghosts don't eat much, so I share with some of the women and families. When I used to donate blood plasma, I'd buy the kids toys from the toy district. It was cheap stuff, but it made everyone smile. No, boss, they're not all prostitutes. The children aren't all bastards. Truth is, many are like Catalina, who got tired of being a human punching bag, or Debbie, who got sick and lost her jobs, or Luwanda. She got kicked out when they kept jacking up the rents. Billy's an ex-con, a skilled mechanic, but if he's honest on his job out, ain't no one gonna hire him or house him for that matter. And the vets and their demons make strange bedfellows. It's PTSD every night. It's like I'm back in Afghanistan, even if it's just in my head. I beat my drum to tune them out.
Till your buddies busted it over your head. Some community. Does anyone have your back? What about the guy who draws Goofy?
Oh, Eddie? He did once. Thanksgiving and Christmas. It's like a jubilee. Folks are genuinely grateful, not just for the food, but because they can finally relax. People get caught up in the spirit. There used to be a priest who passed out $100 bills on Christmas Eve.
To winos and dopers?
Man, you haven't heard a word I said.
Nor is the metro. I filed a complaint. Bus is later than ever.
Yeah, and it'll be late today, too. There's an Occupy LA march. Hear him?
Offstage, sounds of chants and honking cars in support. Derek checks the soles of his shoes.
My son has a piano recital. I'm going to miss it. And Alexa will be pissed. Why do they have to march during rush hours and snag traffic for hours?
Trying to get attention. Let people know, like you, that the 99% are fed up.
Derek slams the baseball on the sidewalk so hard it bounces back to him.
Hey, I grew up poor. I know what it's like to have not. I paid my own way through college, waiting on tables, cleaning toilets, and putting up with guff from a sadistic manager who resented me because he thought I was privileged. I worked as a grunt for years before I became a broker, so don't tell me about being fed up. People have a choice.
Do they?
They really do. I don't know anyone who was born with a silver spoon. Certainly not my brother and me. But we had choices. I could have chosen to be a bum, freeloading off family and friends, blasting my music all day and night, chasing women, or become a junkie, hot rolling on a fix on ice. But I gutted it out. And now I'm enjoying the fruits of my labor. I earned it. And if I came across as a hard ass, I don't care. I don't. Really.
Lordy, I do believe I Struck a nerve. What about your brother? What happened to him?
Derek squeezes his baseball like he's going to beam Leon, but turns and shakes his ass.
You like fucking with me? Here, go for it.
Your ass isn't hard enough.
Derek turns and hovers over Leon, who doesn't flinch.
Who are you to judge me, huh? You sit there, lazing in the sun all day, staring up ladies' skirts, forcing me to debate when you have nothing to say? What the hell are you?
A watchman.
Watching what? You can hardly see.
Then I ain't gonna get much of a gander looking up ladies' skirts then, am I?
Shut up. I don't know why I talk to you. It's just because I feel sorry
For yourself.
How dare
I
you?
speak the truth. You know what you did, Derek.
Derek whirls and socks Yusuf the doll in the head so hard the doll goes flying. Leon jumps on Yusuf like a live grenade and covers his head.
Incoming!
Leon lays on the sidewalk trembling and sobbing.
Yusuf, oh boy, not again. Not again.
Look, I'm sorry. Get up, all right? I didn't hurt you. I didn't even touch you.
Leon just clings to Yusuf, racked by tears. Offstage, the sound of bus nearing. Derek, flustered, exits. Blackout. Scene 11, same bus stop. It's 3 weeks later, drizzling. The wretched homeless encampment has grown with more angry signs posted on the fence. Yusuf the doll is wearing a head bandage. Leon's remaining teeth have been knocked out. At Rise, Leon is cradling and cooing to Yusuf in Arabic as Derek approaches carrying a large black umbrella and a McDonald's bag and plastic-covered briefcase. Noticing Leon's cart is overturned, Derek rights it and gathers Leon's books and things.
It's okay, Yusuf. Mustalehunan lilil atafal.
Derek steps over and sheepishly hovers over Leon, covering him with his umbrella. Leon peers up and flashes toothless grin.
Long time no see, boss.
Yeah, I've been doing field work. Busy times.
You'd think a banker would be a better liar. So much for your training. I can hardly see your face, but I know you're spitting out bullshit. I told you I worked in Army intelligence. I can always smell deceit. Except one time.
I was embarrassed.
Why? Because you wiggled your ugly white ass on a busy downtown street in broad daylight? Now, if you were homeless, nobody would mind. They wouldn't even see you. Don't believe me?
Leon struggles to stand. He pulls down his pants to expose a badly infected leg.
Your leg's infected. You need a doctor.
Yeah. You gonna pay? Or take me to the county general? Heck, Derek, you can't even see me. Like you're talking to a ghost. I'm more than that. We're all more than that.
Pull your pants back up, brother.
Leon struggles to hike up his pants.
That ain't a word you should use lightly.
It's just a word. Like boss. What's up with the doll? Okay, I admit. I have anger management issues.
You think? I got issues too, but I keep a civil tongue and a gentle hand. Buddha teaches you to detach. Look beyond yourself. Besides, I ain't your therapist.
You think I need one?
You think I need one?
A grown man who plays with dolls in public? I don't know.
Leon strokes Yusuf's wounded head.
This ain't a doll. Well, it is. It was. Now it's more. It's much more. You hurt my Yusuf. Scared the hell out of him. As if he hasn't been through enough hell.
Derek steps back a safe distance.
Tell me. I told you about Teddy.
That's because I genuinely wanted to know.
Derek props his plastic-covered briefcase against the wet fence and leans against it.
I'm all ears. I'd like to know how a vaunted Army intelligence officer winds up on the streets of downtown LA.
You have a bus to catch. It's almost here.
I'll catch the next one.
Derek dangles McDonald's bag.
Look, I even brought treats.
Derek dumps glob in Leon's Tibetan singing bowl. Leon takes out magnifying glass, sniffs.
This ain't a hamburger. What is this? Ginger?
Bread. Vegan style. No eggs. Alexa is a vegan.
Then what was gingerbread doing in a McDonald's bag? You got my hopes up.
I'm not vegan. Only in her house. Oh, you're hurting my feelings. I'm not trying to poison you. It's a peace offering, a gift. I was out of line. Figure you're a Buddhist. Bad luck to refuse.
I suppose beggars can't be choosy. You try it first. Not that I don't trust you.
Derek tastes the gingerbread.
Delicious.
Just like my mammy used to make. Surely is good. Not.
It's not that bad. All natural ingredients.
They're blowing right through me like a white tornado.
Leon rises stiffly, clutching his buttocks.
Watch my stuff. What's on the street is public when no one's watching. Why do you think people dookie in the bushes?
Oh, Jesus. How far is the gas station? Is this going to take long? My bus is coming.
It's coming now.
The bus?
No. Hold up your umbrella. Give a man some privacy.
Leon starts lowering his pants. Derek, mortified, holds his umbrella at arm's length, shielding Leon.
Oh, come on.
I am.
I'm getting wet. It's raining.
I'm dry. I like this big old umbrella. Feels like I'm on the beach, under the boardwalk. Under the boardwalk, we'll be having some fun. Sing with me, brother. I don't hear you, Derek. Singing speeds things up.
When it pours.
Still can't hear you.
Under the boardwalk, people walking above.
Under the boardwalk, we'll be falling in love. Ugh. False alarm. Didn't have to go after all.
Leon pulls up his pants. Derek yanks away umbrella. Leon resumes wet sidewalk seat, squeezes eyes shut, lets tongue taste the rain.
Well, ready to hear my story? I told you how I met Yusuf. First he stole my ball, then my heart. First time in my life I ever felt a connection with anyone or anything. I thought I'd find a home in the army, but I didn't connect like I hadn't connected with my foster families, teachers, nobody until Yusuf blew out of the desert. Love at first sight. Of course, I never had a love affair with Uncle Sam. Too many rules. I broke all of them with Yusuf. Let him have free reign on the base, took him riding on a Humvee, up in a helicopter, carried him on my back through the streets while people stared aghast. We made kites. We went to soccer games. I fed Yusuf, clothed him, and customized that Raggedy Andy doll to look like an Afghan.
Offstage, the sound of the bus approaching. Leon scoots over to the nearby tent and dumps a bowl of gingerbread in front of it.
Got a treat for you, Gil. Come and get it. Asshole.
Blackout. Scene 12. Same bus stop late that night. A garbage can glows like it's burning. Leon's books have been torched. Leon appears as a human hawk clutching his Yusuf Raggedy Andy doll. The scene is bathed in lurid lights with sounds of agitation on the street. Cussing, fighting, screaming. A stray gunshot. A beer bottle is tossed and shatters at Leon's bare, clawed feet. He coughs and struggles to take flight, flapping his wings, but one wing drags as if clipped. Grounded, Leon blows Derek's whistle, a high-pitched wail for help, but it's in vain. No one responds. Blackout. Scene 13, same bus stop 3 weeks later, late afternoon. At Rise, Derek confronts Leon, who is peering at the burnt pages of one of his books. Other scorched spy tomes lie at his feet, spilling from an overturned burnt trash can. Leon's card is overturned and his possessions scattered.
Guess not enough sex in these books for my compatriots. It didn't yield much heat either. I don't know what to tell Katie at the bookstore.
Why don't you tell her about your mythical cat and the rat?
Leon flings the burnt book at a nearby ragged tent.
You never had a cat, did you? Turns out, Leon, that's even your real name, you haven't exactly been truthful. In fact, you've been downright cruel. I'm starting to believe you really are a spy. You know about torture, that's for sure.
So, you want me to teach you the tricks of the trade? You gonna break me, boss? Subject me to waterboarding? Stick a cattle prod on my privates? Throw a hood over my head?
I did a little spying on my own. I had to know what happened to my brother. Heard someone resembling Teddy jump from the Palisades, but as fried as he was, my brother wouldn't commit suicide. He valued life. His and mine, even yours. Santa Monica PD confirmed that no one matching Teddy's description turned up dead. One cop thought he saw my brother at the local Big Blue bus for downtown. LAPD here was useless, less than useless. You were right about that. So I went to the source. I volunteered serving meals at the Union Rescue Mission so I could feed off the street folk, get a new perspective. You're right. Everyone has a story. No one knew Teddy's story. They didn't have a clue. You're the only one who could describe Teddy, but that's not enough to incriminate you. Yet when I described you, faces lit up like a pinball machines. Seems you have a violent streak. Few mess with you, Leon, unless you're prepared to take a beating too. Word on the street is you killed somebody. My brother?
That's a big accusation. But then you're a big man. You gonna beat a confession out of me? I already told you, I never met your brother. I would have liked to. Him and me would have had a lot in common. We both appreciate whimsy when everyone around us is jumping headfirst off the deep end into a shallow pool.
I sent Teddy packing with a wad of small bills and that Archangel Michael tattoo. He didn't resist. Treated it as a lark even when I took his house key back. Still, my brother was all too trusting of strangers. He thought someone else would take him in. But who wants to shelter an addict? For weeks, I kept an eye on Teddy. He hung out in the Palisades Park with other homeless. I brought him blankets and food. Promised him we'd work it out, but he stopped recognizing me.
Maybe because he used your money to buy meth.
Or maybe he got tired of seeing my guilty face. One day he was gone. I believe the cops. They said Teddy gravitated downtown. How ironic. Teddy escapes me, only to find you.
You got it all figured out, huh, Sherlock?
There's no other explanation.
Leon rummages in his coat for a crumpled letter and stapled photo of Teddy and holds it close to his face.
Teddy, come home. There's enough room in my big house for all your demons. I said I feared you'd harm Alexa and Alex. You know that's bull. You always could tell. The truth is, I sent you away because you didn't fit. Not in my neighborhood, not in my life. But now I don't fit. I turned my back on the one person who always had mine. I'm sorry, Teddy. No one should live on the streets. I keep hearing Dad's stern admonition, the one he delivered when I ran from you after we got jumped that night in Tegas. You are your brother's keeper. We're all our brother's keepers. He sounded like God, but I'm not Cain. Come home, Teddy. We'll open that used sporting goods store we dreamed about as kids. I still carry around your baseball. Hell, I didn't even leave you with that. You're the sick one. We'll cure each other. Come home, brother. Love, Derek. This is how I know your secret, boss. And I know what Teddy looks like from his photo stapled to the letter. And here you thought I was psychic, or maybe psychotic.
Derek snatches the letter.
How the hell did you get this? I meant to bring it to the Union Rescue Mission hoping they'd deliver it.
Leon rises painfully to face Derek.
It was delivered.
You lying piece of shit! You stole my letter!
You really think I could pick your pocket with this? I could barely stand on my own 2 feet. That time you beat me with that ball, it wasn't the first. You smacked me and clopped poor Yusuf on the head with your briefcase a couple weeks earlier. You were in a tizzy venting about Alexa, the bank, and of course Metro. Half your papers flew out, the letter landed in my lap. I tried to hand it back to you, but you didn't see me. You still don't.
Leon sags against the fence.
I didn't kill your brother, Derek. I killed my son.
Offstage, the sound of bus approaching. Derek, scowling, runs off stage. Blackout. Scene 14, same bus stop. It's a week later, late afternoon, dark already and cold. Leon, badly bruised and stripped almost naked, is shivering. His shopping cart is overturned. Most of his possessions are gone or broken, including the magnifying glass. The Tibetan bowl lies on his stomach, along with the Yusuf doll and his punctured soccer ball. The transient community at the bus stop has grown with more tents and debris. Graffiti is painted on the bus stop sign. The fence is completely covered with angry signs. At Rise, Derek is covering Leon with his coat when Leon perks up and flashes a toothless smile.
You can't cover up your sins by covering my black ass, boss.
Well, at least they didn't take your sense of humor.
I wasn't joking.
Leon coughs hard, spitting up blood. Derek hesitates, then helps raise Leon's torso so he can breathe better.
Well, now you're doomed. Got my cooties all over you. And they're the kind you can't wash off. They'll stick to you like fleas on a dog's tail. Like my tats. Looking for my tattoos? Flip me over, but be gentle. They really did a number on me this time.
That's not what I'm looking for. You said if I looked hard enough.
What do you see?
What do you want me to see? Me.
You mean Lee?
Me. You. You're not a ghost.
And you see a murderer.
Something else we have in common, Leon. I was wrong to accuse you.
Is that a paisley tie you're wearing? Did your rich wife buy that for you? Damn, there's hope for you yet, boy. You could be on Soul Train.
I don't dance. Not even at my wedding. Much to Alexa's chagrin.
We all dance, Derek. That's what life's about. Stuff keeps getting thrown in our way and we learn new moves. Meet new partners until we get it right. Maybe not in this life, but in the next life. Or the one after that. Or maybe 100 lives.
Does that mean I'm coming back as a cockroach?
You and me both. But if I had a choice, I'd come back as a hawk. Couldn't you just see me soaring above the skyscrapers, my keen eyes peeled on the ground watching all the action below, ready to swoop down and scoop up some unsuspecting rat? Of course, with my luck, I'll be reincarnated as a rat. A big, ugly, nasty one.
Yeah, with my luck, I'll be your twin. Before it's too late, I'm thinking I need to get my act together. Been looking at changing jobs, taking a pay cut to work for LA Homeless Services. I could help them finance affordable housing. I'd make them build everywhere.
You don't got the balls. Okay, you got one. You tell your sweet wife about your plans?
I did. And she wished me well. In hell.
Well, there ain't no heaven. There ain't no hell. It's only the here and now.
Leon unleashes a bloody cough. Derek presses his monogram handkerchief to Leon's lips. Derek notices the blood but doesn't flinch.
I'm gonna have to burn that handkerchief. It's swimming with cooties.
Derek winces but shocks Leon by stuffing the bloody cloth in his coat pocket. Then Derek pulls out a water bottle and holds it up to Leon's lips. Leon sips and falls back against the fence. A beer bottle is tossed their way and shatters. Derek scowls at an adjacent tent.
Looks like I'm going to have to be careful where I step around this bus stop.
As if you ain't now.
Derek pulls out his new vial of Xanax.
Well, Teddy's in a better place. I saw him.
You keep chugging those pills, you can see lots of things.
Derek starts to take a pill, then pivots and tosses all the pills into the scorched can.
No, journeyed. Joined a drum circle on the beach. Got carried away with the rhythm, and then out of the corner of my eye, I spied him. Teddy looked a lot younger. His skin wasn't mottled. He had all his teeth, but it was Teddy grinning from ear to ear, strumming that big old guitar, tapping the cowbell I stole after the crash. He seemed peaceful. Very dead.
He blessed you with a visitation. I'm glad you got closure. Do you want to join him?
Derek edges back. He picks up the remnants of Leon's cane and raises his fist.
The hell, Derek? Here I thought you finally saw the light. You think I'm gonna hurt you? How? With my breath? And you know I didn't hurt your brother. He would have warned you, which is what I'm doing now. Don't take the bus tomorrow.
Derek drops the cane, steps closer to Leon.
The soup's going to boil over?
I told you I'm a watchman. I hear the chatter on the streets, take notes in my head. The pot's seething. People are gonna get burnt. Save your ass, boss. I'm warning you.
What about you?
What about me?
What if I take you home? I have an extra bus ticket.
No more drum circle for you, boss. You're really tripping today.
I'm serious. I'll take you to a doctor, patch you up, then I'll score you a Section 8 housing voucher from the bank. Affordable housing on the west side is tight, but we'll find something. Just until you get on your feet.
Section 8 voucher doesn't guarantee an apartment. Lots of folks on the street have vouchers. There's no housing. And even if there was, I told you I don't like walls. I could camp in your backyard, have Alexa come out and feed me vegan gingerbread and iced lattes. I could teach your son to fly. I'm just messing with you, boss. I appreciate the gesture, but I'm already dead. You got one last bus to catch. Check your watch, boss. This might be the day Metro's on time.
Derek removes his watch from his pocket and drops it in Leon's brass bowl.
It stopped ticking. Remember?
Leon holds the watch to his ear, shakes it, then peers at the back and reads inscription.
To my loving brother and best friend Derek. Yo, Teddy, tell your loving brother to split before his thick head gets split. I don't want no more blood on my hands.
Leon tries to hand watch back to Derek, but he refuses.
Keep it. You're more like a brother to me than I was to Teddy these past few months.
You know I'm gonna give it away. It's okay. I'll keep it if you promise to call in sick tomorrow. Ain't much of a stretch.
If you promise to leave tonight.
Soon enough. I told you I'm already gone. Died 2 years ago in Kabul after taking my son's life. Technically, Yusuf wasn't my son, but from the time he stole my soccer ball, I treated him like he was. He wasn't just another desert rat fending for himself. As far as I could tell, he lost his folks, but had an older brother, Mohammed. I think 14. He was polite. Too polite. But I didn't heed the warning signs.
Leon grips the wounded soccer ball.
When Mohammed invited me to iftar to break the Ramadan fast at sunset with he and Yusuf and his uncle's large family, I was overjoyed. Without telling anyone on the base, and leaving my gun behind, I headed to their apartment building with a plate of dates and pulao, a rice dish, and the Raggedy Andy doll I had custom made for Yusuf. But it was just Mohammed and Yusuf when I got to their third floor apartment. I barely had time to grab Yusuf when his brother detonated his suicide vest. It took almost 12 hours to rescue us. For the first hour or so, I could hear Yusuf whimpering in the dark. Not so loud. He was a brave boy. Still, I hugged him, and he hugged his doll, choking on dust and blood until his pain faded into stillness. I spent 2 months in the hospital. And the army and I split unceremoniously, and I ended up here, as far as I could run with a broken back and a broken psyche. But this is where I needed to be.
Doing penance.
Saving souls. At least one soul. And maybe that soul will play it forward and save another. You owe it to Teddy, Derek. Tomorrow, you stay home with your kid.
Leon tosses Derek the soccer ball.
Teach him to dribble a soccer ball and learn to dance.
Offstage, the sound of bus approaching. Derek hesitates for a moment, not sure what to do with both a baseball and a deflated soccer ball in his hands. And Derek's gone. Blackout. Scene 15, Leon and Derek's bus stop the following night. Leon in his human hawk incarnation is perched atop his overturned shopping cart, clutching the Yusuf Raggedy Andy doll. He's illuminated with burning lights. His remaining books are shredded, as is Derek's coat. The plaster Buddha head is smashed. Leon's eyes are bright and wild, reflecting the terror of the night. Police radios cackle with riot updates. Sirens blare. We hear the taunts of rioters offstage challenging police. Tear gas being fired, gunshots, explosions, and screams. Blackout. Scene 16, same bus stop, 2 days later. Yellow caution tape rings the vandalized bus stop. The shopping cart is overturned and broken. Leon's plaster Buddha head is crushed, his Yusuf doll shredded, and his Tibetan singing bowl is bent and bloodstained. At Rise, 2 crime scene investigators are gathering evidence. One gloved detective holds up the bowl for inspection. Derek jogs up, bewildered and desperate.
Detectives, what happened to Leon?
The homeless guy who hung out here. You knew him?
I knew him.
Sorry to tell you, he's deceased. Got caught up in the riot the other night.
Jesus.
You wouldn't be related.
Friend, a bus buddy.
Bus buddy, huh? What was his last name?
We kept it casual.
Casual like, don't ask me for a quarter.
Leon never wanted a quarter. Or anything. He gave freely to me and others.
Please?
His name was Leon. He had a story to tell. I didn't want to hear it at first. I was too absorbed in my own drama, but then...
Sorry, I don't mean to be flip. What's your name?
Derek. Derek Miller. Here's my card.
Derek offers his business card. The detective eyeballs it.
You're lucky. Your bank was ground zero. I take it you weren't there. Lucky break for you.
I called in sick, then today I gave notice.
The second detective pulls Derek's watch from evidence bag.
Eric, give Derek his watch. I assume this belongs to you. Your name's engraved on the back.
It's busted.
The second detective peers at watch, holds it in his ear, then hands it to Derek.
It's working now. How did the victim get a hold of your watch? It looks personal. Your keepsake?
I gave it to Leon. He was like a brother from another mother.
Do you know if Leon had any family?
The son, Yusuf, who died in Afghanistan a couple years ago. Suicide bombing.
That's a shame. So Leon was a vet? That's helpful. We can look up his records through his fingerprints.
The detectives resume their work in earnest.
Leon wasn't just another transient camping out on the sidewalk. He was a watchman. He had my back. He warned me to steer clear of downtown this week. I wanted to bring him home, but he refused. Insisted this was his fate. Can I ask how he died?
The second detective, holding Tibetan bowl, looks up grim-faced.
His throat was slit. Bled into this bowl.
It's a Tibetan singing bowl. Brass.
Singing bowl?
Ping it with your finger.
The detective complies, hears vibrating sound, smiles.
Has a nice ring. Peaceful. Like your friend. He looked serene.
Derek turns away as he dabs his teary eyes. He looks down and discovers hawk feathers. He picks one up and gestures to the detectives.
Mind if I keep this feather?
A pigeon feather?
Hawk.
Hawk? I know there are peregrine falcons downtown, but I never heard of hawks here.
There's one. He's up there, soaring with the angels, watching over us.
Off stage, the sound of the bus coming.
Is that your bus coming? Don't want to miss it.
Couldn't be. It's on time.
Derek plops his briefcase on sidewalk by fence, and he sits.
You're gonna miss your bus. Don't you need to get home?
Maybe I'm already home.
Derek takes out quarter, pings Tibetan singing bowl, and smiles as lights slowly dim. End of play.
Welcome back, everybody. I hope you enjoyed our show tonight. I really enjoyed this script, and I hope you did too. So, if you're watching tonight, if you're watching it live, the first night it premieres, we do have our live Zoom talkback discussion with our cast and crew and our writer. So, if you want to click the link below, you'll be taken over to the other YouTube page with our live Zoom. Should be starting in a couple of minutes. So you can get your questions in or comments in over there. And thank you so much for being here to support the New Works Festival and the Long Beach Playhouse. Check out lbplayhouse.org for other events that we've got coming up. And look forward to July. We're going to be figuring out and announcing our reopening plans. So we're looking forward to having people back at the Playhouse in the fall with our full productions. So lbplayhouse.org and check it out. We're very excited to welcome folks back to the Long Beach Playhouse in person. And don't forget to click the link for the Zoom with our cast and crew tonight. Everyone, please, that's watching, or whenever you're watching, if it's live or if it's 3 months from when I'm recording this, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your evening and see you at the Playhouse soon.